So I guess I could technically say I started volunteering at Bates when I was still a student there, and it was with the sailing team. And when I got there, there really wasn't a sailing team. There were some boats, there were a couple people, but there was nothing organized. And I said, well, I want to sail, so I can either leave and sail somewhere else, or I can stay and do something about it. So I decided to stay and really build up that program. But it wasn't just for my benefit. I saw it as an opportunity for the school. It was a great recruiting tool. It was a program that really engaged a lot of students, and we grew it tremendously while I was there, and it's been continuing to grow after I left. And that was the real success of it. Was, yes, we got the infrastructure in place, but it continues to be successful and continues to grow from there. After that, after graduating, I moved back to Boston and really felt I wanted to stay connected to Bates in some way. And while I was still a student, I was coming down to the Boston Business Network events. And so I'd been going to those for a few months, and they saw a young face that kept coming back and said, hey, do you want to come to one of the steering committee meetings? And I said, sure. At the time, I happened to be working for one of the people on the steering committee because I hadn't really gotten my full-time job yet. And we were going around the room talking about projects, and she said, hey, we're going to do a panel on entrepreneurship in May. And I know you're just working for me, which means you're not doing very much. So why don't you take care of running this panel? And I said, well, okay, and that's kind of where it grew and blossomed from there. And as different projects came up and different opportunities came up, people would ask for my opinions, and I'd give them, and then they'd say, great, can you help us execute that? And so that's really where kind of my involvement stemmed from. And I just saw it as different ways to give back. As I came out of Bates, it was really, I got a lot of help from alums. Everyone was willing to talk to me. Everyone was willing to put me in touch with 3 of their friends who were looking at something different. Even so, when I got my job, it was actually for a Bates person, and I met kind of in a circular fashion through the business network, and I was going to him for something totally different. I was going to him to try and get contacts in a different industry, and he said, well, we have a job opening, you want to interview for it? And so I said, sure, why not? And ended up going through and falling in love with it and stayed there for right up until I started business school. So there's been a lot of ways Bates has been great to me. I see volunteering for Bates as a way to give back and really put some action around the values that Bates stands for.